bitches a baby, I'm trying to get away. Trying to lock in the guap, trying to block with the pain. I'm a blind little boss, I'm on top of the game. I've been plotting a lot, now I'm tossing your bait. Yeah, my pops got caught, didn't lock them away. My mom fought hard 5 jobs in a day. I'll be dropping the box, but I'm copping the pain. We off to the stars to a tropical place. Ooh, yeah, I'm spitting it heavy, the mission is steady. Your bitches are jelly, I'm ditching the petty. You're digging for pennies, I'm itching to ready. I open my heart when I listen to Shetty. I'm bold like a boss, but I'm little like Debbie. I know it's a boss, I got richer than Getty. I'm holding the guap and I'm whipping the Yeti. Yeah, Kari can play with advanced moves. I'm fucking my girl and her man too. I'm taking the ball like the ran do. My soul is the one that I can't lose. I soak up the sun like a sand dune. I'm holding up love with the bamboo. I'm rolling the blunt by the candle. Taking the game, running it back without taking a drink. Yeah, I'm the one and I'm making a wave. Rolling the blunt and I'm blazing a J. I'm escaping the brain, go straight for the cake. I'ma take to the bank, now taking a break. I'm made for the race, I pray for the day. I wake with a bake in the greatest state.
Welcome back to the Yankee and the Brit. I'm Jay. That's Maddie. We're going to talk some Cowboys. I almost introduced the wrong show for a second, so my bad.
Yeah. This isn't just talking Cowboys for just clicks or anything, by the way. This is like the Cowboys are the teams that are doing moves for the first time this year. It's like everybody else has got their business out of the way, and it's almost like Jerry Jones knew that everybody else had got their business out of the way and thought, do you know what? This is a great time for the Cowboys to get some extra publicity and stay in the public view, which is exactly what the Cowboys need. It's not like they're the most spoken about, most watched team in America already. So thank you, Jerry Jones, for not just doing this earlier. That would have been much easier.
The fuck is wrong with Jerry Jones? Let's start with that, because you wait till fucking Zeke holds out. Well, we can even go back to Emmitt Smith. You fucking wait till he misses 2 games, realize you need him, pay him. Wait till fucking Zeke holds out, you fucking pay him. Like this, you wait till you have no choice but to fucking back a Brinks truck up to Dak Prescott on a bad contract to pay him. Why does he you rhetorical, but why the fuck does he never get in front of these contracts? Never.
Yeah, I think that's a fair point of view. Do you know what? I'm surprised that he didn't release the contract news on like
Didn't you just have a fucking lineman do the same shit last year?
I
think one of your fucking offensive linemen did that to get paid too. Zach
Martin did a small hold in as well, but that was kind of fun.
You gotta do something with Jerry to get him to pay you. I don't fucking get this. Like, he even made the comments this week that they're not worried about Dak because he's there. Like, you're not worried about his contract. He's there. Like,
he shows up, so it's fine. He's in the building, so that's okay. That's all we need. Yeah, with Jerry, I think he. So interesting point I heard from Nick Wright, so I'm not going to steal his thing. I'm just going to regurgitate what he said.
Quick, the new face of FS1.
Honestly, one of my favorites, by the way.
They fired Skip, him and Colin.
Well, there's Colin Cowherd, yeah. There's
Colin.
Colin.
They put him in that spot. They put Nick Wright in that good fucking spot now too, like because they reshuffled the shows and. Yeah, they're banking on Colin and Nick Wright. So shout out Nick Wright. Not always my favorite, but you're doing good.
I think Nick Wright. I think what I like about Nick Wright is like he is wrong, like, but does admit that he's wrong, like when he's wrong. Like that's fine. That's just an interesting thing from
mine is more like misdemeanor and petty. I liked him when he was bald. I can't stand his hair, so it annoys me.
It was when he was like growing it out at the time. I was like, I think it looks good. I think he looks better when he was bald, but I think he was a more interesting character when he was bald. I quite enjoyed that. So it's from like Nick Wright, and basically he said, look, it doesn't matter to Jerry when the contracts get done if it doesn't affect the cap, because the thing we're talking about the Ceedee Lamb contract mainly. So with the Ceedee Lamb contract, the crazy thing about this is the contract that just would have been signed 3 months ago. Like, it's pretty much the exact same contract that would have been signed 3 months ago.
But if he'd have signed it last year when he was eligible, it would have been $28 million.
Yeah, so he should have signed it last year, definitely. But he was basically, the reason that Jerry Jones waits now is he weighs up when to put it in the media, when the Cowboys are going to get the most attention. But also, the stock market's been absolutely booming. He's basically got CeeDee Lamb's contract in investments. He may as well just wait for 3 months for those investments to come up and then give him the sign-on bonus of that 60-year.
I'm starting to agree with Florio that Jerry doesn't really care about winning Super Bowls, that he just likes to keep the Cowboys name in the media.
Yeah, I think he weighs those two up. Obviously, the best way to keep the Cowboys name in the media would be to win the fucking Super Bowl. You know, like that would be a great way to do that. Or just get to an NFC divisional game. Like for the past 25 years, they've been basically missing out on a week of publicity because they don't make it to the NFC divisional game. Like that's also 26 years now in going. But yeah, so I think that is something to take on, like the fact that Jerry does wait for the best media coverage. Now, it doesn't make sense not to do it a year ago. That makes absolutely zero sense at all. If you thought CeeDee Lamb was the guy a year ago, then you would have signed him a year ago. I think they're waiting for these guys to fall off. Do you think maybe they have some Ezekiel Elliott trauma? Like where Zeke looked like the guy, so they paid him early. Like I know he held out and stuff like that, but he held out kind of early. Zeke kind of went a big dick move with his holdout. So they paid him. So they paid him while he was holding out, but I think that was a year, maybe 2 years early, and they gave him a huge contract for a running back, and then he literally just fell off a cliff within those 2 years.
So, well, Jerry did now. They wait till the last minute. They finally get the deal done. What is it? $132 million or some shit like that. $76 million guaranteed. That's what I remember. 100%. He took like 32 a year. Falls right between Jefferson and AJ Brown. So, I mean, that's probably right where CeeDee Lamb should land anyway. But for Jerry, he could have got it cheaper last year. That doesn't make sense to me. And then you have him for 6 years instead of 5. And you already know it, and then you don't have to worry. And then you have more room to deal with Micah and Dak. And we'll get into the different things that'll happen because I think they're going to be in the same position with Micah next year. So we'll see. But what do you think about the contract? Were you happy? Were you happy about the contract, or you were just finally relieved it was done?
I think with the contract, it's $136 million. So over 4 years, so $34 million a year. It's 67 million guaranteed. Like, look, the way that they've set it up is for the 2024 salary cap. It's 8.7.
Ayuk was 76 million guaranteed. That's what it was.
Yeah, so for the 2024 salary cap, he's 8.75 mil. So, so big, so obviously a big upgrades are coming in there in 2025, which is obviously exciting because that's where all of Dak Prescott's money is as well in 2025, 2026. But I think that's what he's worth. I think that is once you've left it a year, I think that's what CeeDee's worth. I'm happy he didn't get more than Justin Jefferson because he's not better than Justin Jefferson. I think it's arguable whether he's better than Jamar Chase. I think he's maybe more versatile than Jamar Chase. Obviously, he had a much better season than Jamar Chase last year. He's definitely better than the 2 Eagles wide receivers who were getting up there in money as well.
Just so quick,
I think I'm happy there.
That's what Howie does. Howie pays them early.
Yeah,
Gary's the exact opposite. It's just I had to point that out quick. Yeah.
Yeah. So how he pays them early, and that can sometimes go back on him. Let's see if Jalen Hurts is worth 50 odd million a year this season.
Have we ever heard the Eagles go, we don't have enough money to sign him?
No.
I'm just saying.
So they can. Howie Roseman is an amazing GM. An amazing GM.
He's a cap wizard.
Yeah, definitely. There's a few cap wizards out there. How the 49ers have just paid Ayuk is what I really
because they're going to have to get rid of Debo next year.
Yeah, there's something has to give there. The way that the Eagles have have made it work is their defense was shocking last year. That's a great way of making your offensive money work. But then he's managed to fix the defense in places this year, signing people like Devon White. So I don't understand how Howie Roseman does it. But with CeeDee Lamb, that's exactly what I think he's worth. When you look at the different pay scales, it's a shame that it took 3-4 months because we could have been fixing Dak's contract in the knowledge of where CD was, or fixing Micah's contract. You even now move on to Dak, or you move on to Micah now. You either decide that Dak is going into the last year of his contract, we'll let him hit the free agency market and see where he ends up, or you sign Micah a year early.
I think you go with Micah Parsons because if I'm Dak Prescott, unless you blow me the fuck away with a contract, I'm hitting free agency.
I'm just gonna wait. Dak Prescott is continually backed himself. Now, Dak Prescott might want to be the Dallas Cowboys quarterback for the rest of his life.
But you still wait.
You still wait.
Yeah.
And then you see how much. Yeah. So what I was going to say. So you weigh that up, right? So Dak Prescott has already made generational wealth. Like Dak Prescott never needs to work another day in his life, and he's going to have a great life. His kids are going to have a great life. Like everything. So he's also an incredibly sensible guy. Like you know that money's being spent in the right places with Dak Prescott. He never needs to work a day in his life. So you weigh up I want to be the Dallas Cowboys quarterback for the rest of my life compared to the offers that you get in free agency. And if that's a $5 million a year gap, you're still waiting until free agency to see what you're getting offered in free agency, right?
You can leverage it against the Cowboys to get more to stay if that's what you want to do. Even if you want to stay in Dallas, you can leverage those offers against the Cowboys for more money.
And if I'm the Cowboys anyway, I want to sign Micah. I'm going to sign Micah so I can go to Dak and say, this is the team that we've assembled. This is what we've got, and this is how much money we can give you. And then it's just all the cards are on the table. There's no, maybe Micah will take a discount. There's no CD might take a discount. There's no Trayvon Diggs might take a discount. It's all just out on the table. This is the amount of money that we can give you, and then you can all make informed decisions from that.
What do you think it takes to sign Micah Parsons per year?
A silly amount of money, 25.
I think you got to go above Justin Jefferson. I think he wants to be the biggest non-quarterback contract. Bosa did it, then Jefferson did it. AJ Brown did it, then Jefferson did it. I think that's what he's going to want, the biggest non-quarterback contract. And I can't argue with him. So this is what I say. I say you go to Micah right now and you go, I will give you $36 million a year, because I really think if you wait till next year, it's going to be 40.
Yeah, I think Micah does have, Micah has that in him as well. So Nick Bosa gets paid $34 million. So it's ideally I want. So with the way that the Cowboys are, you're just screwed. You need the salary cap has to go up. Basically, the way that all of these contracts are going, every team needs the salary cap to go up. No team needs to hold on the Dallas Cowboys. Yeah, it's just if your players then have an amazing season this year, if JJ McCarthy is unbelievable for the next 4 years, then you will need it to go up. That's the
right. But I'm saying going into next year, we're at 76 million in cap space. I'm just saying,
yeah, we have when you look at the Cowboys roster. When you look at the Cowboys roster, I can't decide whether I look at it and think, yeah, we're good. This is how, we're fine to be this close to the cap because this is the team. Or whether I'm we have a few holes there. How are we this close to the cap? And it basically all depends on the rookies being drafted again.
And if Dak walks, you eat almost 40 million in cap next year.
That's the other thing with Dak. So I'm giving Micah, I'm going up to Micah and I'm giving him his. But does that then piss CD off? Does CD then get pissed off that he's not the highest paid?
Too bad. You just already signed it. It's the next man up, and this is business.
Yeah.
And you can't argue that you're the best receiver in football. Micah can argue that he is the best non-quarterback in football.
Yeah, definitely.
You can argue other people also, but he's in that argument. So if you're in that argument and next man up, you get paid more than Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, 100%. So I'm backing 35.
If,
See, what I want to do with
get
Micah
that
is
in
though is make
before
sure that I
Jamar
get the full
Chase time.
5. Yeah, I want to. Yeah, 100%. But I
If
want to make
Jamar
sure I get
Chase
the full
time,
5 years.
Yeah, now it's even higher though. Like you're paying Micah even more. That's probably why he's being so fucking patient. It's because he's like other guys are about to cash in.
Yeah, he knows if he makes it to next year, he'll get 40. Like he knows he'll get 40. So yeah. So the Cowboys are in a sticky situation. And all I'm saying is when you're in this kind of sticky situation, and it doesn't look like it's gonna get better. It looks like it's just fucked. Like the Cowboys are gonna something has to give with the Cowboys. Something has to go somewhere. It's either Dak has to give a discount, which I don't see why he would do that. Unless he just loves being a Dallas Cowboys quarterback that much, or nobody else offers him that much money, or it's Micah goes, or Zach Martin retires, or like all of that, all of those highest paid like play, or Trayvon Diggs leaves in the next 2 years when his
But
contract
his
ends.
contract doesn't look as bad anymore.
No, but that's the same as everybody. So Trayvon Diggs is up in 2 years' time, as well. So it's so so there's all of this. So something has to give. So why haven't the Cowboys been going all in this year is a question that has been asked
Well,
loads and loads and loads.
you guys, I know people who are like get caught up in just about stats from last year aren't going to see it, but the Dalvin Cook signing, Jerry Jones must listen to the show. Fucking great signing. You get him for cheap, and it's not like he forgot how to play fucking football. I think at some point this year he will be your number one running back.
It's honestly crazy. So we did our first show back, and then within maybe 24 hours of doing the first show back where we said they have to get Ceedee Lamb done in the next couple to do anything. Ceedee Lamb gets signed, and then we said the Cowboys also really desperately need to look into like what are they going to do at running back? What's the plan? You said Dalvin Cook will be there before the start of the season, and Dalvin Cook signed 3 days later. So great work, Jay. Excellent work.
Jerry, find Micah. Just get it the fuck over with, bro. I know it's not your thing. Just do it. You don't want to be dealing with this next year with him. You're gonna have enough problems dealing with trying to get Dak back. You just have a year where you don't have 2 or 3 guys pissed off.
But just the final point on that is the only way that Jerry Jones doesn't pay Micah in this situation, by the way, and it was the same with Dak and it was the same with Ceedee, is if he has a terrible season. So you sat there with your money, with your checkbook, like hoping that he doesn't play well. Like it feels like a strange.
And what's a terrible season for Micah Parsons? 9 sacks. I mean,
Yeah, exactly. Like
he has
to really fall off. Like
he's going to trip and fall into 9 sacks if he doesn't get injured, right? So
yeah. Basically, you're hoping he gets injured. That's what you're hoping for. That's your
you
financial best
argue
player.
He's your best player on your team, let alone your defense. Now, some people could argue it's Dak or Ceedee, but you could literally argue that it's Micah.
I think he's the biggest difference maker on the team. I would definitely go with that, just with where he can play. So Jerry signed Ceedee. But yeah, the Dalvin Cook signing, look, I think it's a brilliant signing. I think it's the exact signing that they need. Like, is it ideal to have Dalvin Cook as your running back going into a season where you're meant to be all in? No.
Yes.
Is it ideal?
This is why I'll tell you it is, because as long as he stays healthy, he's going to get you 1,500 all-purpose yards, mark it down, like you're good. He catches out the backfield. He runs great screens. He's one cut away from being gone on every play. The only thing that's going to kill you about Dalvin Cook, it's the 2-yard losses, the 3-yard losses. Those things are going to piss you off. But then he's going to hit a 60-yarder, and you're going to be like, okay. Okay.
Yeah, I think he's lost a bit of his top end speed, but I think it's so I'm not looking for any 60 yarders.
28?
I'm pretty happy with a 30, 40, 28 for a running back with the amount of running in the legs is like a pretty decent. Like Zeke started to fall off his top. Like Zeke became a fullback at 27.
Yeah, but Zeke wasn't very fast to begin with. That was not
That's
Zeke's
true.
game. But
That's true. That's true. And the way that Dalvin Cook plays is that like Zeke was run up the gut and just run through people and then break into the back. At least Dalvin Cook's not taking those big hits. And that's why I think that we need that big player. Obviously, we lost Tony Pollard. And honestly, I look at the Cowboys roster and I go, how much did we actually lose? So people are saying like we're gonna miss the playoffs. Like we've won 12 games in a row, and point out to me what we've actually lost here. So Tyron Smith is a decent loss, but he only plays 12 games a season. So if Tyler Guyton is as good as he looks in training camp, then we're fine there. We're not losing anything in Biardish at center because he just wasn't that good. Tony Pollard, great, but not for the money. Like poor value for money.
What in the running back room before Dalvin Cook, they were the worst running back room in the NFL.
Yeah, 100%. Worst running back room in the NFL, definitely. But I'm not sure how much better Tony Pollard makes it for the money when we're talking about how much we have to pay Micah, Ceedee, all
for
of
me, I don't think it was so much that people are saying you should have kept Pollard. It's that you did nothing to replace him, I think was the argument.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. But I'm not talking about did the Cowboys get better. I don't think we're going to be better this year. Like in terms of regular season, we'll see what the fuck happens in the off season. You never when you get to the postseason, it's all everything changes. But if we're just talking about making it to the playoffs, I don't see how the Cowboys got worse, particularly, especially now with the Dalvin Cook signing, because Dalvin Cook comes on $5 million, and I think Tony Pollard was on 20. No, he can't have been on 20. That must have been his whole deal.
No, they gave him a $10 million franchise tag.
Not for but what is he with the Titans? Yeah, 3 years, 21 mil. All right.
7 a year.
Yeah, so 7 a year. So, so you're saving like $2 million on the running back room, and I'm not sure. And Tony Pollard is the same as Dalvin Cook, just younger.
Do you realize that Tony Pollard is making $300,000 more a year than Aaron Jones?
That's pretty crazy. Tony. So I like Tony Pollard.
But Aaron Jones was one of the best backs in the league last year. That's just I don't know.
Tony Pollard as a number one running back. No, I don't see it. I don't see that for him. I see him as in the backfield as a 1-2 punch, the big play. When you give him the number one running back touches, he gets injured. He got injured. That's what happened because he can't run that up the gut. The Cowboys also have one of the best. Yes, they have one of the worst running back rooms, but they also have one of the best run blocking offensive lines. If you look at the Cowboys offensive line stats, especially running towards Tyler Smith, that guy's an absolute road grader. Up the gut, the Cowboys will be great at run blocking. So that limits those hits in the backfield that Dalvin Cook would take and lose his 2 yards. He's not like Derrick Henry, where Derrick Henry just falls over into positive yardage. But hopefully we get him to. If you can get Dalvin Cook to the line untouched, which by the way he was running behind a Jets offensive line last year that couldn't block anything.
No, and he was getting fucking 5 carries a game because of Breece Hall. You can't blame the Jets, but that doesn't show what he can do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. We have no idea who Dalvin Cook is from last year. So I'm very happy with the signing. It's a real move in a positive direction, and I don't think the Cowboys have got worse. I don't think they've got necessarily better, but I don't think they've got worse throughout the season.
I still think
everybody else seems to have.
I think Dalvin Cook is still the running back he was 2 years ago.
If he is, we're playoff bound, baby. There we go.
I still gotta wonder if he's still regretting not taking that 2 years, $16 million from the Vikings.
Yeah, well, he should be because he's making $5 million this year from the Cowboys.
He made $2 million last year.
Yeah, so he's made $7 million in the year was where he could have been taking that 16. Oh well.
I get it though, guys. If they're going to take less money, you want to go to a different team because they're like in their feelings. I get it though. It becomes people are like it's business. It's not personal. It is, but you are going to take it personal when people don't feel you're worth what you feel you're worth.
Yeah, and like I've heard amazing things about like Minnesota and Minneapolis. It's this place that I would love to visit when I'm there, but you take less money to maybe go live in New York or go live in Dallas or those people who go. I mean, the state taxes.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, to be fair, no state taxes in Texas.
In Texas now, so actually, yeah. So he's actually saving quite a lot of money actually by playing in Texas. The Cowboys don't use that enough. You shouldn't like we shouldn't be paying. Like if Nick Bosa lives in California, that
yeah,
you can
I
say
don't
to
think
Mike
it's about the dollars though for them. I mean, I think it's more about I'm the highest paid player.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, tell your story about the source that you heard.
There's this funny thing out there. So Ian Rappaport now reports Jamar Chase wants 1 cent more, 1 penny more than Justin Jefferson. Rumor out of Minnesota comes out. Might have been Matt Kohler who said it, maybe not if I'm wrong, but somebody said it. The Vikings are saying that if they give him 1 penny more than Justin Jefferson, they're going to give Justin Jefferson a 2-cent bonus.
Brilliant. That's just like the height of pettiness. I wouldn't be that bothered about being the highest player. I would just.
They're like super close friends from being at LSU together, and they're they call each other brothers, and I think they might even have they either shared a dorm or they shared a room on road trips. I don't remember which one, but they stay like they're close. So this is funny, and I can see why Chase wants the 1 cent more because I'm up, pay me. I want to be the highest paid, and I just think it's funny that the Vikings are playing along. If it's true or not, the Vikings are playing along with the game and like, well, we'll just give him a 2-cent bonus. I just find the whole thing funny.
We should probably do a wide receiver ranking pretty soon because I see the wide receivers in different groups. Like I don't feel comfortable comparing Devontae Adams with like Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase and Ceedee Lamb. I feel like they're a different group, but not necessarily because of like talent or skill, just like time in the NFL and all of that kind of stuff. I don't know how to explain it.
I think Devontae's the second best receiver in the NFL, but I might be being a homer. Like, another thing we should talk about someday is the next 2 years in a row, Deshaun Watson will cost $72 million against the cap.
Yeah, I mean, all cap worries look fine as long as you look at the Cleveland Browns. Right.
Yeah, they have $35 million freed up right now that I have no idea what they're doing. But they just made it so they have 72 2 years in a row. And if for some reason they won't, but if they cut them, they'd have to eat that 142 or 44 million.
That's why Deshaun Watson is the reason that no player will get a fully guaranteed contract ever again. Like everybody was like, "Oh, this sets the precedent."
Yeah, it'll never be more than 3 years. Yeah, you will never get a guy that gets more than 3 years on it. Yeah, because you'll always get those guys who get the 1 year fully guaranteed.
1 or 2. Yeah. I mean, a huge contract, like fully guaranteed. Like he's basically killed them for everyone for the next. And it was something that players were pushing for a long time.
You know what? Maybe Dak gets one.
Yep. Yep. From who? I mean, that would be the way that the Cowboys. That would be the way that the Cowboys would save the money. I bet you if you gave.
How come nobody?
Dak up,
how come I'm the only person in the world that's screaming he is going to be a Giant next year, and he's going with Bill Belichick?
I think everybody's saying Raiders is what I've seen, but I don't see either.
Dude, if you're Dak and you can give a big fuck you to the Cowboys by going to the Giants and winning with the Giants, damn. Imagine he leaves and wins a Super Bowl for the fucking Giants.
I think we'd have to stop doing this show, to be honest. I give up on the NFL. We'll have to find something else to talk about. Like I'll stop watching the NFL. If that happens, I'll stop watching the NFL. Like that's it. That's it for me.
Yeah.
Also, big fuck you to Tom Brady if Bill Belichick wins it with Dak Prescott. Because I'm pretty sure Tom Brady slagged off Dak Prescott recently.
Yeah, but is it because he won one without Belichick first?
Yeah, but he won one. Yeah, but Belichick won one with Dak Prescott, who Tom Brady slagged off for saying he wasn't like good enough. I can't remember what it was he said, but he like said he wasn't good enough or something. Said he'll never win. It said he won't win Super Bowls and
Yeah,
those kind of
I'm
things. So that
paraphrasing, but Tom called this generation of football players soft just last week. I'm paraphrasing, but
I just completely disagree. I think if you change the rules back, I think if you
no,
change the
that's he
rules back
wasn't
into what
talking
they
about the
were,
rules. He said they come in
Yeah.
entitled and like very sensitive compared to when he came in.
yeah, I can see that. But I just think not wanting your coach to like chew you out is not necessarily a bad thing. You know, like a respectful working environment sounds like a good idea
Well,
to me.
he got out when he wanted because if you want to see entitled, wait until these kids come in and they have 10 million in the bank from NIL.
Yeah, well, we're about to see it with Caleb Williams, right? And he's got the Chicago Bears teammates cleaning up the lockers. Maybe it makes
one
more
guy.
grateful people. Maybe it makes more grateful people.
I don't think you understand Americans and money, but
Maybe they're better with money by the time that they get there because they're used to having it. You know, it's like right. Here's what it might be like. It's not what it's gonna be like, but here's what it could be like. Where when you go to like university or college, the kids who go the fucking craziest when they get there are the ones who hadn't. This doesn't really work for you guys because you guys don't drink until you're 21, which is legally drink until you're 21. But like we all
we
obviously
drink. We got some underage drinking champions.
legally,
Okay.
legal. All right, hold on, sir. So basically, like British teens, like most of them start drinking like 15, 16, 17, and then you get to university and you're 18 and you see these people coming out of university who go absolutely fucking crazy, and they're the ones that never went to the parties when they were like 16, 17, like 18, and cause loads of trouble, get really, really messed up, and like are a danger to themselves and others. So maybe by giving them the money early or giving alcohol early, it chills them out by the time they get the real bread, you know?
I doubt it, but maybe. But your comparison here would be when Catholic school. I'm going to get myself in trouble. Catholic school children get to college because their parents sheltered the fuck out of them, so they go completely ape shit.
Yeah, exactly. It's like the kids with the strictest parents are the ones who like just go the fucking wildest, like when they get out. Like, that's always the craziest.
Alcohol poisoning, all kinds of shit.
Honestly, by the time I got to university at 18, I was like, I still went out and everything, but I was just like, oh, I've done this before, you know. I've seen this, you know. And you're more terrified at like 16 when you start drinking. So like you're not going as crazy, and it's much harder to go as crazy, you know. So yeah.
All right. Well, there you have it. We made it through our second episode of the season. Man, big things happening though. We got the fantasy football league popping. We got new episodes coming. The NFL season's right around the corner. Can you believe it?
I can't believe it. Who is your like most underrated fantasy player at the moment? Do you think? Are you not willing to divulge with the draft?
I don't know. There's this Welsh guy on the Chiefs that I'm thinking about drafting.
Did you see?
I'm just kidding. I'm just fucking with you. I'm just fucking with you.
Did you see he didn't make it?
Oh, he didn't make it?
Got cut. He's now on the practice squad with the Jags.
Okay. So honestly though, and it's because they didn't put him on the exempt list. It's Rashid Rice.
Yeah, he is Rashid Rice 100%. He's falling so far, like in a lot of mock fantasy draft stuff. He's falling so far because everybody's like, he's going to be suspended. Doesn't look like he's going to be suspended for the first half of this season, and they're not going to suspend the Chiefs' number one wide receiver going into the second half of the season. They'll probably move that suspension now to the start of next year, I would think.
Well, I'll end it with this. I either want the first or the 14th pick.
I love the 40. Oh, by the way, guys, if you love like fucking crazy shit fantasy football stuff, like come and watch ours because like 14 teams fantasy football. I worked out I need to know like I think it's the 56th best wide receiver. Like if I want 4 wide receivers, I think I need 56 on my board. It's like what I've been working on like a 56 wide receiver board.
There is never anybody in the waivers.
There's never anybody in the waivers. Never. Like it's all shit. But we trade like fuck. By the way, like in this fantasy football league, the trades are class. Like so good. So if you guys want to watch a crazy fantasy football draft with also some of the best shit talkers I've ever been around in my life, then come and watch the show. It's the show after this one comes out, I imagine. So I don't know if this one's getting released today or it's getting released early tomorrow. But come and watch the show, the fantasy football.
And even if you're watching this on replay, you can watch the draft on replay too.
It's true. You can watch the draft on replay. We'll also have more fantasy updates throughout the year, I think, this year. I think that would be a good thing to include. Little how's the league going, you know? Oh, big sneeze. Good mute. Excellent mute, man.
Thank you. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. One world, one love. Deuces.
Cheerio.